Hello, and welcome to my ZMI Runecrafting guide. Part of this guide will be focused mainly towards ironmen accounts, where you won't have to use any energy potions to do the ZMI. Before you begin the ZMI, there's a few things you should set up on your client, which I recommend using RuneLite for doing this, but if you don't want to, you could use the regular client, but you'll lose out on certain plugins. So for instance, you can see I have screen markers set up to specific spots. So the white one is set up for my bank, the pure essence, so I know where to click on that. It's not a big deal, but it's nice, so you can do this more brainlessly. Also, the black one is for the Orania teleport. That is to get to the ZMI, so that's why I have those two set up. You don't need them, but they definitely help a lot. Now for some requirements, you will need lunars completed to be able to do this, and that doesn't matter if you're a main or an Ironman, you just pretty much need it done. If you don't have it, this is inefficient to do, so definitely don't do it if you don't have lunars completed. You're also going to want to have 71 magic, so you can use the Orania teleport, and you're also going to want to have a bunch of runes. So if you're an Ironman, you're going to want to have some cosmics and whatnot. Cosmics and astrals mainly are the annoying ones to get to start this. They're not really annoying to get. Astrals, I guess, you could just buy them, but it is a little bit of a GP you need to use for those, or you could just craft your own. But you're going to have a few starting runes. You'll end up getting a bunch of like random runes, but yeah, you're going to want that. And you're also going to want to have a bunch of like a really cheap rune. And I use mind runes, but you could use like anything that's like really cheap. For Ironman, it doesn't really matter. There's a few cheap runes, but I use mind runes personally, but you need them for a payment to use the bank at the Orania altar, which I'll show you in a minute. You're also going to want to have at least a medium and a large pouch. Those are really good ones. The best pouches you can use are at the best ones. For me, I don't use small pouches just because they're only 3 essence, and I don't think it's really worth it for the extra clicking and for just an extra 2 spots, because since it's 3 essence and it's using 1 to have the essence, the pouch in your inventory, you're only getting 2 additional essence, and it's only about 24 on average experience, so it wouldn't really be worth it in my opinion. And plus, because I have 2 pouches, I can't actually deposit my inventory because it'll just deposit every time, which kind of makes it annoying for me, and I don't feel like dropping it because it's cool to have 2, so I guess for me it's not really worth it, but you can use it if you want. It just gives you an additional 2 spaces, but yeah, I don't really recommend it. You're also going to want to have your bank full. So basically, you just want to put bank fillers in your bank. If you don't know how to do that, so basically you just click on this show menu icon right here in the corner, and right here it'll say fill bank. You're going to want to click that so it fills up your bank with bank fillers, and then you have a full bank. But make sure you obviously get your inventory all set up first, and make sure you don't have placeholders of any of the runes in your inventory in your bank or your pouches as well. Don't do that as well. You can have you want to have your pure essence obviously in your bank, so they will get deposited and whatnot. But everything else in here in my inventory, like if I go here and I deposit my inventory, only thing gets deposited is essence, and that's basically what you want. Also, make sure you select this right here where it says deposit worn items. You wanna make sure it has an X beside it, because if it's got a check mark beside it, you can accidentally click your worn items to be deposited, and you don't want that. So basically just click that and it'll disappear, so you don't accidentally misclick on it. It's really helpful, not just for this but for a lot of other things. Also, if you're an Ironman, for this method you're gonna want Ring of Duelings. You're gonna want a bunch of them. So like I have 442, but you're gonna want a lot. You may not need that many, but you need quite a few. So for the Ironman method, only for a main you don't need those. Other than that, make sure you have weight reducing armor. I don't have any defensive gear. It's good to have defensive gear for this, but I just use my tome fire. I don't really have a shield. I don't think it's really that necessary for me, and I'm a hardcore, so I don't really take that much damage personally whenever I do it. Maybe once in a while I'll take a 9 or an 8, but other than that, it's not a big deal. So I just wear this, and it works out pretty well for me, but you can add any armor to this that you want. I just like to have as much weight reducing armor as possible, and not any like shields or anything, because I'm trying to use no energy potions, But I guess if you're a main and you want to use like a DFS or something, it'd be good for the defense, but that's up to you. Alright, now that all the boring stuff is out of the way, you are set to do ZMI. So make sure you just kind of zoom out fully and get about this kind of a camera angle, and you want to put on the plugin, the GPU plugin. Let's just go here, put the GPU plugin, because if I turn this off, it takes a lot of the render distance away. So make sure that's on and you're good to go. So pretty much just teleport to the Arena altar with where we have it screen marked, and basically when you're here, just run up to the altar, make sure you're on the Arena altar world, which is world 327. So once you get up here, you want to climb down the ladder, and you're going to want to bank with Enolia, although I have a full inventory so it doesn't matter. But to set up, you want to basically talk to Enolia, and you're going to want to talk about your quick payment details, and then you want to set it to whatever rune that you personally want to have him use every single time. So basically, if you don't, he'll bring up like a menu where you have to click the rune you want to use, and it's not really efficient. So pretty much just set up quick payment details to whatever rune. Mine is set up to mine runes. As you see, I'll click bank, and my mine runes decreased by 20. So yeah, every single time you open the bank, that'll happen. So yeah, basically, so now that you're here and it's time to start the run, there's multiple little ways you can do this. So you can either right click someone and follow them. Another method you can do is use an essence on someone, and you'll actually be better because you won't get stuck behind corners. But another method that I like to use as well, because sometimes if people stop randomly, you'll just stop, and if you're not paying much attention, you'll start taking damage, because if using this on them and they stop, basically you stop as well. So a really good way of doing this is actually just to use the GPU plugin like I talked about before. So if I turn it off, look how much of render distance that it takes away. Quite a lot. And you can't click over here. It won't do anything if you click the black squares over there. But if I turn on the GPU setting and I click all the way over into this corner, right about there, I'll start running. And basically it'll run me to around that area. And then when you're in that area, you're actually so close to the altar where you can actually click on it or almost on it. It's about a null, like it's a null click basically, and it takes you so close to the altar. So you might want to click like there, and you can basically click it, get to the altar in 3 clicks, or 2, and then you click on the altar itself once you can eventually click it. It's pretty OP, and I'm going to close this, sorry about that. And basically just runecraft just like that. Now for emptying the pouches, a method that I use, and it's the best one because you can right click empty them, and I don't really think that it's worth doing that now because you can hold shift and left click empty, so it's pretty nice. So just empty your pouches just like that, and then teleport right back to the Arena altar just like you did before and run back up. As you can see, I still have so much run energy. I know I did that a little slow just to show you guys how to do this, but you can basically do 2 runs if you're doing this without energy potions. So this is for the Ironman people. If you're doing this for as an Ironman and don't want to use energy potions, the method that I recommend you doing is twice. So basically you do 1 run like I just did, you do another run, and then I'll show you guys how you do this without any run energy. So I'm going to show you guys right now me doing it again, just a quick little fast method like I did before, but actually doing it without being like inefficient. And so like I just did it in 3 clicks like that, pretty easy. Get to the altar, runecraft, and empty and runecraft, and then so now I have 50 run. Technically I could go again, but after every 2 runs, what I like to do is teleport to clan wars with my dueling ring. That's why I said you should have dueling rings, and just run all the way down to here or past the bank, and you'll get to the clan wars portal. Once you're at the clan wars portal, enter it. And once you've entered it, exit it, and you'll see that my run energy increased all the way up to 100%. It also increases your HP and prayer, so if you do want to pray against the monsters that attack you in there, you can, and your health will be regenerated as well. Again, that's kind of why you don't really need the defensive gear if you're doing this method. And there's a bank right here once you exit, so you don't actually have to waste any of your runes when you do teleport back. and then you can just teleport back here and repeat the whole process over and over again, just like that. Do 2 runs and then teleport to Clan Wars. If you're an Ironman, if you're a main, just use a stamina potion and you're fine. And you can still do like probably 3 or 4 runs, to be honest, like that. But if you're an Ironman, I don't know why I opened the bank, to be honest, but if you're an Ironman, that's the best way I think to do this. You can also do that with like astrals and stuff. I was doing with astrals and it was working pretty well, but I don't think astrals are worth doing on an Ironman because this is like really good XP, and you get a bunch of different runes as well, not just the astrals. And astrals are useful, but I don't really think that they're worth spending all the essence on it when you just need to get 77 anyways. So yeah, pretty much very straightforward and easy how to do this, but I just thought I'd make a little guide on it because maybe people don't know how to do this for Ironman without using energy potions, and it's kind of a waste because you're going to be using a lot of energy potions doing it like that. And so basically, if you're going to do this without like the Ironman only no energy potion method, you're going to be getting around 26,000 runecrafting experience per hour, which is actually really good. On a main account, when you're using stamina, you definitely can get up towards almost 40k an hour, I'd say, if not maybe a bit above. Which is pretty great. But yeah, as an Ironman, you're not going to get like great XP, but it's good XP compared to other places, which is pretty good. So yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide helped out as many of you as possible, and if it did, please give this video a like, and if you're not already, please subscribe for more guides for mains and Ironman alike. Thank you for watching, and peace.